Welcome to Doron Yoga, everyone. Today we're going to do an intermediate Vinyasa class, Doron Yoga Vinyasa class. Some not so easy, so just pace yourself and do only what feels right for you in your body. Starting with sitting in any comfortable way. Be aware of your breath and just really allow it to be deeper maybe than normal. Watch it as it fills your belly, your chest, even all the way up to the upper back. Feel yourself growing taller, and as you exhale, shoulders relax, but try to maintain as much as you can the length in the spine. Stay present. Notice your breath as it goes in and out, again, trying to do those deep, deep breaths to expand your lung capacity, to bring awareness to your body, to being here, to being now. Softening shoulders, softening the face, even your fingertips. Take a moment to set an intention for your practice. Why are you doing this? Maybe dedicate it to someone else that needs a little help. Thank you all for being here and for doing this with me. And here we go. Let's start moving. Coming to the hands and knees. We'll start with delicious pose. So it's moving the hips, moving the shoulders, moving the head, neck. Really trying to massage the spine as you go. Switch direction. I like to think of it as like good quality olive oil going through my spine and just lubricating all my joints. It's a really great way to just soften and create some warm up. Downward puppy. Keep the hips right where they are. Walk the hands forward and lower your head down towards the ground. Easy enough, your chin down, just feeling your shoulders stretch. And then we'll go into the downward facing dog. So walk the hands back onto your mat. Plant the hands. And, reach back with your hips. If you want to bend one knee at a time, feel free. Just don't rush it, right? Feel the stretch. Enjoy it. Eventually both heels to the ground. Finding your bandhas, belly lift. Take the right leg up to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hips, and just do a few ankle rotations to each direction. Reach the leg way back up behind you, and then exhale, curl, bring the knee to the nose. Inhale, back to the sky. Exhale, across to the left elbow. Inhale, back up. Exhale, over to the right side, and if you feel ninja, bend the elbows, only optional. Right foot eventually comes between the hands for low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Bring the hands onto the hips. If it's too much, you can keep them on the ground or on the knee. Let the hips sink. You'll probably feel your left front of the thigh, your hip flexor is saying good morning. Staying with your breath and keeping your gaze soft yet focused, right? Know what you're looking at. Be present. And bringing the hands back down to the ground. Step the foot back. Slowly lower chaturanga, or if you need to, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, opening the back, opening the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left side, left leg reaches up, opening the hips, bending the knee, ankle rotations, few to each direction. Straightening the left leg behind you, and as you exhale, bring the knee towards the nose, curl the belly in. Inhale, back up, and exhale, take it across. Inhale, back to the sky. Exhale, over to the left side with the optional elbow bend. Back up, and left foot between the hands, lowering the right knee to the ground, hands to the hips, low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Again, sinking deep into your right leg, and as you lengthen, you can see here I'm leaning a little bit back, but I'm really lifting in my belly and chest as to making sure that I'm not collapsing into the lower back, right? That's always very, very important. Hands down, stepping it back to plank. Take a moment and then lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, wiggling my hips there to really release and open the lower back, and downward dog. And every time we reach downward dog, if you need to, you can always drop to your knees and take some child's pose. Didn't give you too much time, and we're bringing the right foot forward, arms coming up, taking high lunge, Anjaneyasana. Good. Making it a little more of a workout if you like, bending the right knee, bending the left knee, lowering down and up. So doing this about 5 to 6 times, bending both knees. And then eventually after you do that, just come back to the high lunge. Stay there for a few moments. Try to keep the back leg really strong. I'm actually bending my knee a little bit in order to tuck the tailbone. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Oh, right away. Left leg, no break. Back leg is strong, heel is up, coming up, tucking the tailbone. And then here we go, bending the knee and straightening. Bending, straightening both legs. Bending, straightening both legs. Bending, straightening both legs. Bending, straightening, bending, straightening, welcome quads. And then finding again your happy lunge, happy Anjaneyasana. Arms are powerful, back leg is super strong. Breathing still, even if we're moving a little fast at times, finding those peaceful moments when we stop. Lower the hands down, step it back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale for upward facing, exhale for downward facing dog. Okay. Hands rooting, feet rooting, mind is still focused. Look between the hands, step or jump. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, slow motion, close the pose. Inhale, sun salute, B, bending the knees for Utkatasana, chair pose. We'll stay here for a few breaths to say hello again to our legs, and then coming back up to standing. Good. Surya Namaskar A, arms up over the head. Exhale, hands down to the ground, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step or jump, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Breathing here. As you noticed, I've just activated my bandhas here a little more to create some space in the lower back. Head is between the arms, but relaxing down. Legs are powerful as much as you can. Pressing all 10 fingers to the ground and breathing. Make sure your head and neck are relaxed. Look between the hands, feet step or jump forward, lengthen, and with an exhale, tuck, forward fold. Inhale all the way back up, and exhale, hands to the heart, Samastitihi. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, shining through. Exhale, downward facing dog. Finding the balance between effort and relaxation in this pose. Right? The belly is lifting, the legs are working, yet the mind softens. There's not a lot of movement. Taking it as a little break between this and the next coming up Surya Namaskars. Empty the breath, look forward, step, jump, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, look up, see your hands. Exhale slowly, back to the heart. Okay, taking a little break, taking off my shirt, sorry, a little hot out there. And here we go, let's continue. Bending the knees, taking Utkatasana, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg comes forward, left heel spins down, coming all the way up, warrior one. Slow motion, taking the twist. Left hand, right thigh, right hand behind you. Inhale to create length. Exhale, twist a little deeper, trying to take your gaze in the direction that you're twisting. Slowly coming back up to warrior one. Watch the hands as you slowly come back down, exhaling into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward, coming up, inhaling, warrior one, Virabhadrasana. Again, slowly transitioning into the twist. So there's lots of awareness as you move. Right hand on the left thigh, left arm behind you, wherever you can reach, right? I got long arms, so my hand goes quite far back under the hip, but anything you can hold on to, even if it's just your fabric of your pants. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale again, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, no rush, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Either stay here and rest or come back up for one more round of sun salutes. You can go at your own pace. Right foot up to warrior one, lowering down, taking your vinyasa all the way back to downward dog, and then right away left foot will come up just to heat up a little bit more in the body, up to the warrior, back down through your vinyasa. And always take what you need to. If a break is what you need to, stop and take a break. If you're ready for an extra vinyasa, take an extra vinyasa. Right? Good. Now let's all continue together this time. Right foot, warrior one. Slowly, we're going to go for Surya Namaskar B2, the variation with humble warrior, clasping the hands behind the back. Inhale, lengthening, and exhale, coming forward and down. If you can, bring the head to the inside of the right foot. Actually, the whole torso can come to the inside of the right foot if possible. Eventually, maybe head down to the ground, arms over the head. Trying to square the hips if possible, a little bit. They won't be fully squared. And don't forget to breathe. Inhale, strong back leg all the way back up. Warrior one. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step it back. Chaturanga. Inhale, shine chest forward. Exhale, downward dog. Oh, we still have another side. Here we go. Left foot coming up. Warrior one. Powerful arms, slow, focused transitions. Hands clasped behind the back. Inhale, lengthening, and exhale slowly. Use your bandhas. Belly in, head down, arms over the head. If your arms don't go far forward over the head, use a strap behind the hands or a towel. It'll give you a little more room for your shoulders. Don't forget to keep the back leg active. Yep, you just saw I did that. Helped lift the hip a little bit so it's not all in the head. It's also crucial for coming out of the pose. So strong back leg in order to inhale. Come all the way up. And again, slow and steady exhale. Hands down, step it back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, open up. Exhale, roll back. Downward facing dog. Okay. Breathing. Finding that ujjayi breath, right? Step or jump. Look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Bending the knees. Inhale, utkatasana. And exhale, samastitihi. Here we go again. Bending the knees, utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, float back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, open up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot, warrior one, slow and steady. Good. Take your gaze to the right hand. Keep looking at the right hand as you slowly open warrior two, Virabhadrasana Ka. Good. Find the power, right? There's strong arms, strong legs, and yet feel that there's space, that there's a sense of floating with the arms, like you're practicing in water in a swimming pool or a lake. So you want to find that yin-yang balance. Reversing the warrior. Right arm goes over the head and back, left arm down to the leg wherever it reaches. Right foot still bending. Inhale, coming back up, and we'll take extended side angle. You can either take the elbow to the thigh, or if it works for you, take the hand down to the ground. Just make sure you keep opening the heart, keep opening the chest. And if you want to do a ninja workout, then both arms in the sky, breathing just a bit longer, belly tucked in. And inhale, it's over. Straightening the front leg, going for Trikonasana, triangle pose. Right hand down, left arm up. Right hand can be on the leg, it can go down to the ground, a Iyengar style, just a little deeper. Left arm wraps behind the back. If you can, take it to the inner right thigh. And you can stay here and enjoy Trikonasana, or if you want to come in balance, we're going to shift forward and take half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Really stacking as much as possible the hips. Left leg is super strong. And maybe, if possible, work on lifting the right arm off the ground. Don't worry about it. Make sure that even if you do that, you stay sideways, right? Don't make it into Warrior 3. Gaze steady, reach back, land Warrior 2, and exhale. Cartwheel the hands down to the ground and take your Vinyasa following your breath. Once you reach Downward Dog, we're going to go right away for the left side, left leg forward, slow and steady Warrior 1. Really use this as a focusing opportunity, practicing your dharana. Left arm will open slowly into the Warrior 2. Keep your gaze on the left arm. Try to extend your long exhale to match your movement. Again, finding that softness in the shoulders while you still have the power in the arms. Belly is a little bit in, right? You have your bandhas activated. Focus and soften. Reverse the warrior. Viparita Virabhadrasana. Viparita Virabhadrasana. Maintaining breath. Coming forward, extended side angle. Parshvakonasana. Your arm variation. Opening the chest. Feel free to stay here, or if you want to go ninja, both arms in the sky. Breathing, arms are active. Little extra core and leg work. Inhale, back up, Warrior 2. Straightening the front leg. If you want to shorten a little bit the distance for triangle, Trikonasana, feel free. Reach the right arm to the sky. You're welcome to keep it there, or if you want to wrap it behind the back, then go ahead and wrap the arm behind the back. Again, either stay here. Triangle is a fantastic pose. If you want to play a little bit, then try to keep your body sideways as you transition to Ardha Chandrasana, the half moon pose. Good. Standing leg is strong. Back leg is strong. Hips, have to be over the ankle. If the hips are a little back, you won't be able to balance. You'll fall back. So try to keep the hips over the standing leg. Okay. Again, making sure you breathe while you're doing this. Keep the gaze forward as you reach back for Warrior 2. And with an exhale, slowly cartwheel the hands down. Step it back, lower, Chaturanga. Inhale. Really activate those legs. And exhale, roll over the toes if possible, back to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Step or jump to the front of the mat, lengthen, and exhale, forward fold. Let's take a little break. We're gonna hold the elbows and just forward fold over the legs. I have my feet a little bit apart, about hip width. Take it as wide as you need to. You can stay holding the elbows, really great, or if you want to do the Ashtanga variation of Padahastasana, hands under the feet, feel free to do that. Saying hello to the hamstrings. If they're very tight, you can bend the knees a little bit. Try to let the head reach down without overworking your shoulders. More from feeling the hips reaching up to the sky. Good. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, come all the way up and Samastitihi. Opening the right foot over to the right side, hands to the hips. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the ground. Prasarita Padottanasana A. Head comes to the earth and the hands are parallel. So what I did is I kind of played with my feet a little bit. I tried to find the point where my head is barely touching the ground, so I still have a little bit of room to work towards kind of pressing the head down. If it's too easy, you can always take the feet a little closer. Stay here or come up, Shirshasana B, tripod headstand. Okay, you don't have to do what I'm doing. I'm doing some crazy stuff. I took the lotus and I'm lowering down for Urdhva Kukutasana. Didn't work. I'm going to transition into crow pose, which you can do that all to begin with, right? You can just come up, tripod, lower crow, take a breath or two. Come back up to tripod. Hold that for a moment to find your stability. And then spread your legs apart and lower back down to Prasarita Padottanasana. A. Good. From here, we're going to lengthen halfway to activate the bandhas. Pause, exhale with the hands at the hips, and then inhale all the way back up. Good. Oh, let's have some fun here. We're going to find some goddess. Find the goddess in you. So squat down. If you can, lift the heels up just to make it a little more work. Shoulders, elbows, same height. And then give yourself a smile, right? I know it's hard, but it really is what makes this pose so much fun. Just after taking ourselves sometimes seriously, it's good to soften. Find some softness in the forehead. Good. You can do it. Stay a little bit longer. Maybe you're shaking a bit. That's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Shaking is good. Muscles are working. Right? Ooh, I can see myself. I'm shaking. And release. Whew. Step it forward. Samastitihi. Good job, everybody. Okay. Parshvottanasana. Taking any variation of your arms. If you have the reverse namaste behind the back, awesome. If you don't, just hold opposite elbows. Step the right foot back and inhale, lengthen, exhale, slowly coming forward, taking your pose. Trying to keep your hips somewhat square, trying to reach the chest forward, so maybe even the chin reaches down. And breathe. All right, really finding some gratitude for the hamstrings. Inhale, coming halfway up. We're going for the revolved triangle. So place your right hand down either to the inside or eventually to the outside of the left foot. Left arm up to the sky. It's not an easy twist, especially if you're keeping your hips square. So just kind of do your best in opening the chest. Twist is happening more from the thoracic, from the upper spine, not so much from the hips, or at least that's what we're aiming for. Good. Slowly coming back up. Step it forward nice and smooth. I call this Nadia Comaneci style. And then, good news, we have another side to go. So, set up your arms, take your time, and then this time we're going to step the left foot back. Here we go. Squaring the hips forward, adjusting the hands again as needed. Inhale to create space in the spine, and exhale, slowly coming forward. And really reaching forward. And then, even though you tried to create space and it seemed like you were doing a back bend at the beginning, which is awesome, once you're in the pose, just let yourself be. It's not really a back bend. You are allowing your spine to round a little bit, and that's perfectly fine. Legs are strong. Okay, here we go. Revolving the triangle. So the left hand goes to the inside, or if possible, the outside of the right foot. The left arm will open up to the sky. And you can see here, I'm taking my time to open the chest because I don't want to lose my hips too much, right? And so if I open right away, then I kind of go all off-sided with my hips. Gaze, if possible, is to the hand. If it's too much, you can look down to the ground or over to the side. Inhale, slowly coming all the way back up. And exhale, Nadia Comaneci style, coming forward, releasing the foot. Good job, everybody. We're almost done with our standing poses. Just a bit more, just a bit more. Hopefully you're still okay. Take a breath here. Calm, stay relaxed. And then we're going to balance. So we're starting with a tree pose. We'll do tree plus variations. So balancing on the left leg, right leg up, wherever you can, just not on the knee. Hands can stay at the hands can stay at the heart, or hands can come up to the sky. You can keep your gaze forward or challenge yourself by looking up. Slowly bring the hands back to the heart. Bring the right knee forward, and then hold the right knee with your left hand and take the right hand back behind you. If that's easy and you're still balancing well and your hamstrings are open enough, you can do it with a straight leg, holding the outside of the right foot with your left hand, eventually taking the gaze out to the side or back behind you. Breathing. Slowly, gaze turns back to the center, focusing, and then slowly, we're going to release that leg down. Great. Okay, we have another side to go, so you can either be very happy that you have another side to go, or you can be very happy that you only have one more side to go. Starting with tree pose, left leg up, balancing if it's easy enough, arms up, easy enough, gaze up. And then once you're up there again, finding some steadiness, finding some inner quietness. Slowly, hands come back to the heart. Gaze is steady. Left knee forward, right hand holds the left knee, or if possible, holds the outer edge of the left foot. Starting your twist, left arm behind you, gaze starts to move to the side, possibly further back. Bandha's working. Good. Breathing, strong standing leg. Standing leg is strong but not locked. Slowly coming back to center, focus, and release with control. Great, let's come back to the front of the mat for some Samastitihi. So we're going to lower down to the ground from here. So taking a high heel pose, lifting up the heels, trying to lower down your hips to about knee height. I try not to let the knees come too far forward. So it's more hips back and down. Hands can be in prayer position. Taking a breath or two there, and then eventually either lower down to a squat or come to rest on your arms in a crow pose, Bakasana. Resting after we worked hard in our Utkatasana variation. Good. Breathing, straighten your arms, lift the heels, and then jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog, and exhale, downward facing loveliness. Oh yeah, you are the lovely one here. Breathing. We're going to come forward to sit, so step, walk, jump, crawl forward to your seat in order to do a little more fun stuff. Navasana. So you can start with holding the back of the legs if you want. You can keep the knees bent. Eventually, if it works for you, straighten the legs, straighten the arms, and breathe. Don't worry, we won't do this all day long. Try to just hold it for a little bit and then lower partway down, maybe halfway down. Right. Legs are still straight if possible. Keep the mind and gaze soft. Lower down 3/4 of the way. My shoulders are still off the ground. Yeah, you may start to feel a little bit in your core, but just stay there. If you still have energy, hands to the heart, crisscrossing the legs. I know you can do it. Keep going. Here we go, just crisscrossing and breathe. Only 60 more minutes. No, I'm kidding. Just breathe. You can do it. If you cheated and you took the legs down to the ground, that's awesome. Just come back up. Join us. And then everybody, Shavasana. Rest. Let your breath be deep or let it just flow naturally. That's fine too. Relax the head and oh yeah, that wasn't really Shavasana. You didn't really think I meant it. We're going to do some more core work. So we're going to bring the knees up to 90 degrees. We're going to do bicycle yoga. There's a whole video for that if you want to see how to do it. Right arm comes across the left leg in slow motion and inhale down. Exhale, left arm across the right, left leg straightens, and then slowly inhale down. So the idea is to do this really slow. Keep going at your own pace. Just try to come up and even like hold there till you really finish out all your exhale and then inhale to come down. Right? It's this holding when we're up there that really gets our core juicy and beautiful. The other thing is when you are coming up, try as much as you can to keep the shoulders as high up as you can, right? When we actually start to lift a little more in the upper back, that's when the core says hello. Again, try to not forget your breath when you're doing this. Exhale as you come up. Hold for a moment. Inhale as you come down. Exhale as you lift up. And then inhale as you come down. Every time you're coming up and straightening the leg, try to straighten the leg very close to the ground. It's not touching, but it's very close to the ground. Try to keep the other knee bent somewhat in 90 degrees. And keep breathing. We still have a little while to go. But, just do what you can and stay with it. Stay with it. That's the main thing. Many times the mind is starting to tell us stories. It's hard. I can't do this. But, really check in with your body. A lot of times our body is far more capable than what we think it is. So just stay with it. Just focus and bring your mind onto the breath, onto the breath. If it's burning, just let it be. We're almost done. We're going to do last round of coming up and holding for 5 breaths each. So on our next time we're going to come up, just come up and hold. Stay, breathe, stay. You can do this. Stay calm. Everything's okay. Hold. It's almost over. Lift a little higher with your torso and lower down. One last one. Come up. Lift up. Powerful legs. Lift the shoulders. Stay calm. Keep your face happy and sweet. You never know when there's going to be a video camera on your face. And then lower down. Bring your knees to your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Good job, everybody. Really awesome. Hell, let yourself roll out in some happy baby. Roll from side to side and laugh at this whole thing. You can straighten the legs if you want. Massage the back. And breathe. Yeah. Some people are looking at me. What's this crazy guy doing? When you're ready, roll up to sit, jump back, take your vinyasa, chaturanga. Ooh, take some nice upward doggy. Right? It helps us stretch the belly. You can see me moving the chest forward, the belly forward, really trying to get some nice release in the work there. Breathe through it. Let it feel delicious. And then take it back, downward facing dog. Coming forward to plank and slow motion, lowering down to your belly. Good. Let everything relax, right? Just lay down for a moment. Shavasana on the belly. Big breath. And then here we go. Wake up. Slowly lift the legs, lift the chest. Shalabhasana. Any arm variation that you like, keeping them down, lifting them up, or clasping the fingers. Try to really reach up with the chest, reach up with your legs. Easy if you have back pain. Breathing while you're doing this. Just another breath here and slowly release down. Great. You can move your hips from side to side if you need to. And then we're going to go and take the half frog, the Ardha Bekasana. Bending your right knee, holding it with your right foot. If possible, slowly work on bring the foot forward. You're going to do this rotation with your wrist and shoulder in order to eventually bring the fingers facing forward in the same direction as the toes. Foot will come right to next to the hips one day. Obviously, don't push it more than what feels right. You should feel it nicely in your thighs, in your quads, but definitely not in your knee. So if it hurts your knee, back off. Slowly releasing the right side, setting up for the left side. Right arm parallel to the front of the mat, taking the left foot again, if possible, rotating in the arm, bringing the foot down towards the ground. Try to keep your shoulders square to the front of the mat, right? So the left shoulder comes forward, chest is lifting. Eventually, one day you're going to do this with both legs, and then once you do it with both legs, this is a pretty nice back bend. That's why we want to work on both shoulders facing forward. Release the second side, and then inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Coming to plank again and slowly lowering down to your belly. Bending the knees, hold the feet, or if you can, better hold the ankles. Going for Dhanyurasana, lift the legs and then lift the chest. Activate the legs, keep the heart open, and breathe. Try and keep your knees hip width and your feet coming close together, maybe even toes touching, maybe even heels touching. Legs are still active. Steady gaze. Just another one breath, and then slowly release down. Good. Lower the legs. You can move your hips from side to side to release a bit in the back. And we're going to do the easy transition. No vinyasa. Just roll over onto your back. Taking a little break here. We're going to go for some stretchalicious. So the number 4 or the thread the needle pose. Right. Bringing the left thigh closer to your chest, right ankle is on the thigh. Try to keep your tailbone, your lower back on the ground. You should feel your back of the right hip stretching here. Okay. So we're going to stay here for a little while, and I'm going to show an option, a little more advanced option, but please do not attempt this unless that was super easy. What I'm doing is I'm letting go of my left foot, putting it back on the ground, and working on the right foot coming towards the forehead. Please don't push this hard, just really let it happen on its own. This is years and years of practice. If it reached the forehead, you can work on straightening the left leg, and if all that works, you can even work on bringing the foot behind the head. Okay, just working towards it. Let's do the other side. So again, taking thread the needle. This time the left foot comes up to the right thigh comes closer to the chest. Working on bringing it closer in, keeping the hips down to the ground. Head is relaxed. Try to keep your neck long, right, by bringing the chin more towards the throat. Again, you're welcome to stay here and just breathe through it, right? This is a really nice calming pose, only if it's easy. Right foot back to the ground and left foot towards the forehead. Towards, right? Don't worry about it. Maybe right leg straightens. That will intensify the pose. And again, eventually what this does is this is a preparation for leg behind the head. We're not going to really do that today, but just showing you where we're going. And then releasing. I do have a whole hip sequence. You can look at that one. So we're going to move for some further back bends. So I got my feet hip width apart, preparing for bridge. My hands are kind of under the back. You can hold your heels, you can clasp your fingers, roll your shoulders a little bit under to create space for your neck. And as you're lifting the hips up, remember to bring the chest towards the chin, not the chin towards the chest, but the chest towards the chin. You're welcome to stay with bridge pose. Really, it's an awesome practice. But if you're ready for the next step, hands beside the ears and slowly lifting up, coming up to the Urdhva Dhanurasana, the upward facing bow. Staying there if it's comfortable. If it's super comfortable, walk the hands towards the feet or come down, take the head down, walk a little closer. Really, again, don't try to do anything that doesn't feel good for you, especially on the back in this pose, the back and the shoulders. Okay, so breathing, legs are strong, and then when you're ready, lower down, take a little break. You can take windshield wipers, take the knees from side to side just to release a little bit in the back. And we're going to just come right back up and do it again. Set yourself up, feet, hands. Either you're doing another bridge or you're coming up for the full Urdhva Dhanurasana. Again, pressing the arms as straight as you can, pressing the legs. And if there's room, walk the hands a little bit closer to your feet. Keep breathing. Don't forget to breathe. You can stretch a little bit towards the arms to open up a little bit more in the shoulders. Legs are strong. Great, and then slowly lower down. Good. Take your time to release. Knees from side to side. Breathing all the while. And we will do another one. I'll do an easier variation. So we're going to come up to a bridge. You can do another Urdhva Dhanurasana, but I'll do it with variations. So try to take the bridge, and then you can place the hands on the hips, lift the right leg up to the sky, and if it's easy enough, take the hands to the ground without supporting the hips. Keep the legs strong, both legs strong, and breathe. And then right leg comes down, and we're going to switch legs. Left leg comes up. Really reach that leg up. Right. Pressing strong with the right leg. Breathing. Staying focused with your mind. And slowly, slowly lowering both feet. Well, just the left leg now. And then lowering the hips down. Coming all the way down. This time we can bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little huggy. And rolling up to sit. After back bends, I usually like to take a twist before I go for my forward folds, just to release a little bit in the spine. It's a little too intense for me to do a deep forward fold, but I promise we'll do them. So let's sit up for the Ardha Matsyendrasana. Right, folding in the left leg, right leg comes across. You can hug the knee, or you can take the arm all the way over, and if possible, eventually one day the hand reaches for the foot. It's really not crucial. The right hand behind you can be on the ground, or again, one day it will wrap into the thigh. Either way, just try to inhale and lengthen, and exhale. Take your body and gaze over to the right. Inhale and lengthen, and exhale, twist. And tucking the hand will make you use more of your bandhas, which is wonderful, but definitely harder to balance there. No vinyasa, life's easy. Let's just switch to the other side. So when you're ready, setting up, this time right leg bent, left leg goes over and across the thigh, right arm comes over, again hugging or just over, or I don't know why I took the full pose, but reaching over for the foot eventually. Here you can see a little bit more how I'm reaching the backhand instead of on the ground. I'm reaching it behind me. But if you're having a hard time staying tall, definitely keep it on the grass or on the mat, right? And try to lengthen. I have a feeling you're doing this in your home and not on the grass, but you never know. Don't forget your breathing. And release. Great. Shake your legs a little bit. And then bring the feet together for Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. So really work on opening your feet apart. It'll help your knees come down. You can sit on a block, a blanket, whatever you need to do to elevate the hips if your knees are high up and not coming down, or if you can't, tilt your pelvis forward. Good. Then lengthen and start to come forward and down. Remember to stay soft with your face. Wherever down is for you is amazing, right? If you've reached all the way down, find it a relaxation pose. Hey, I'm kind of putting my hands down, my head on my legs, my head on my hands, and half falling asleep. But whatever you do, just breathe through it, right? For some of us it's fun, for some of us it's torture. Inhale, come up, spread your legs wide apart. We're going to work on doing the Upavishta Konasana. And as you can see, I'm really working on tilting my pelvis forward. And that's the important part here, right? Tilt the pelvis forward, keep the toes up to the sky, and from that space reaching forward. It really helps with the lower back. Again, if you need to, you can do this on a block or a blanket. If you're all the way down, just come down and relax. There's lots of variations to this pose, but we've worked hard today, so I'm just taking this part a little easier. Still breathing, still staying present. That's the most important part. That is really the purpose of yoga. Being here, learning to be aware of what's happening in the moment. Coming back up, come to the front of your mat, lift up, step or jump back, take your vinyasa. Breathing through it, even if it's the end, still breath is important. Coming forward to sit, step or jump through, and we'll go for our forward folds. So starting with left leg straight, bending the right foot towards the inner thigh. We're going to do a one leg forward fold. So you can either do Janu Shirshasana A. If you want to take the half lotus variation, you can place the right foot in half lotus and come forward for your fold. Any variation of these forward folds that you like. Just really allow yourself to surrender into this pose. Belly is still a little active, upper thigh is working, but other than that, shoulders, head, mind, soften and release. Inhale, come up, and we'll take the other side. Again, your choice, Janu Shirshasana A, or taking the half lotus if you have it. No pressure on the knee. Make sure your knee is comfortable there. And then when you're ready, exhale as you come down. Shoulders soften and relax. Head drops down. Some people ask me if the drishti is supposed to be towards the toes. I find it to be a little strenuous on my neck. I let my head come down and just aim at moving forward, but not with too much stress. Right? So it's okay if your gaze is down towards your leg, or really towards your nose, if you will. Inhale, slowly coming up. Let's do both legs now. So both feet together. We're going to do, take a moment in Dandasana just to really find the length of your spine, the activation of your legs. And after you do a breath in Dandasana or two, you're welcome to eventually come into your Paschimottanasana, into your seated forward fold. Again, belly is a little bit lengthening. We start with lengthening and almost like a back bend, but then we do surrender. There's no need to keep this back bend when you're in the pose, right? Just let the head fold, let everything drop. And some people get worried about the little arch that's in the back. That's very, very normal, right? Even if your belly and chest are touching the leg, you'll still have somewhat of a rounded back. Some will have it more, some will have it less, but that's fine. Good. Inhale, come up, and time to go for finishing. So slowly, slowly lower your back onto the ground, lift the legs up. We're going to go into shoulder stand. If you need to set up any blankets under your shoulders, do so. Otherwise, come up, find your shoulder stand with elbows about shoulder width apart, legs reaching up to the sky. And this is a very steady pose, but while we're steady, we're still trying to be active, right? The legs are active, the belly is a little bit active. The very non-active part is the mind. Gaze, drishti, focuses on the toes, and just stay here, calm and breathe. It's really awesome pose for your thyroid. Great. We're going to lower down towards halasana, plow pose. Lower down just as much as is fine with you. If your feet come to the ground, great. If they don't, that's okay. If they are all the way down, untuck the toes. Keep the legs again very active. Hips reaching up. Arms move down to the ground. Clasp the fingers, breathing. Gaze is steady. Breath is steady. Bending the knees towards the ears, Karnapidasana. If you can, bring the knees close together and bring the knees to come as close as possible to your shoulders as well. Feet may even be touching, right? You may not be hearing me so much, so I'm speaking a little louder, but for most of us this does not happen right away. So just stay, breathe. Great. And then straighten the legs, lift the knees up, and we're going to simply lower down from here. So hands on the ground. Try to lower down really slow and with control. Slow and with control. Go vertebrae by vertebrae. Use your core to slow down the descent of the legs. Matsyasana, or a variation of it, coming up to the elbows for fish pose, head to the ground. Oh, this really is actually, people call it fish pose, but I took the Uttana Padasana, the legs up, arms up variation. That's the second variation in Ashtanga, skipping the Matsyasana. But you can keep the legs on the ground. You don't have to lift up. Listen to your body. Release the pose, release the head down to the ground, and bring the knees to the chest to give yourself a nice big hug. Really see if you can find some loving for yourself, really appreciation for all you've done. We're going to finish with some pampering supine twists. Left leg is straight, right knee comes up and turns over to the left side. Gaze goes over to the right side. Try to keep that left leg strong and straight down. Breathing, maybe even extending your exhales here. Slowly coming up, switching to the other side. Strong right leg straight and left leg bends and comes over to the right side. Left shoulder tries to remain on the ground, gaze to the left side. And again, we're going to take some very deep, slow exhales. I like to take my exhales even longer than my inhales here, just to allow that parasympathetic system to kick in, to tell my body it's okay to relax now. You can start repairing. Good, slowly coming back up. And straighten the legs. Find a really comfortable position. You can shake yourself a little bit from left to right to make sure everything is relaxed and released. We're going to die now. And don't worry, we're going to have our resurrection coming up soon. But for just a little while, see if you can allow yourself, your whole body, to take care of itself. Don't even try to do any special breathing. Don't try to do any special anything. Complete Shavasana, being a corpse. Letting your mind drop away. Letting your being be as it is. Softness everywhere. Enjoy the stillness. This is the place where we take everything we've done so far and bring it all together. It's a pose of integration. It's a pose where the body kind of allows all the energy to flow through it, and we allow the body to do what it wants to do. Mind softens so much that maybe it's just a sense of awareness floating. It could even be out of the body. Slowly, here comes the resurrection. You can move a little bit your fingers and toes, eventually bringing the knees up and rolling onto the right side for a breath or two. Take your time. When you're ready, join us seated. Notice how you feel now after the practice. Back to the same seated position we've done at the beginning. Lots of softness and yet lots of power from within. A total balance of yin and yang. Hands come to the heart. Really find a moment of gratitude for yourself, for practicing, for being here, and maybe taking that dedication that you said at the beginning, reminding yourself, whether it was for yourself or maybe you're sending that love and healing energies to somebody else that needs it. Thank you all so very much for practicing. Tell me how you feel in the comments below, and I'll see you soon. Namaste.